This is it. We're going to do it. It is my team of the week based on how players played this past weekend across the world. Okay? And take into consideration that the Bundesliga and Serie A are not playing right now. Okay, you guys ready for this? Good. In goal, David De Gea. He made 11 saves. 11 saves against Tottenham in the second half in Manchester United's big 1-0 win on the road at Wembley to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer his 6th straight win as a manager, which broke a record to start a managerial career for Manchester United by Sir Matt Busby, who had 5, and 6 goes to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Will they hire him full time? That is the question. I don't think they're going to make any determination unless he gets into the top 4 and does well in the Champions League. But things look good right now, so I'm going to say that. So David De Gea is in goal. I don't even think you can argue with me on that. That was such a great performance and he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. We expect it to a certain extent. What's crazy is when you have a player like that and you expect that from him, that type of performance, and he exceeds those expectations. That's what he did, and that's why he's my goalkeeper for this week. Then I'm going to go with a 3-4-3 because that's what I do, and that's what I want to do. In back, we got Jardel. Okay, he plays for Benfica. They won 2-0, and it was a big win because their rivals in the league, Sporting, well, they played against Porto. Porto are leading the league. They tied 0-0, so Benfica gained 2 points on both of those guys. And then Braga, obviously, has been in that top 4 conversation since the beginning of the season. They're kind of those are the 4 best teams in the league. Anyway, Jardel, in the back, center back, scored the game winner, if I'm not mistaken, and got the shutout, so he deserves a nod in my team. Pretty simple. And then next to him, or maybe we can put him in the middle, and then next to him on the right, is Fabinho, because he slotted in at center back for Liverpool in an always tough place to play in Brighton. They ended up winning 1-0. They got the shutout. And I just love that he's willing to play any position and do it well. And that earns my respect and admiration, and it should earn yours as well. That's what I was trying to say. And yeah, I love Fabinho. I thought it was a good signing, and so I was really surprised when he didn't start right away. But I love that Jurgen Klopp had the wherewithal to understand that we got to ease him in to this season. So yes, so it's Fabinho and Jardel so far. And then next to him is Kurt Zouma from Everton. They got a much-needed win, everybody. All right? They won 2-0. He scored a goal. That's the same, bar that I had set for you to get into this team sheet or this team of the week. That's what Jardel did for Benfica. Kurt Zouma, thought was excellent. Everton seems to be up and down, so to get these points, much needed. They have 30 points right now. They're in 10th. They just leapt over Wolverhampton, Bournemouth, Brighton. And, well, no, they didn't leap over Brighton because they got the win. But they were tied with Bournemouth. So they're there. I mean, that's a big win for them. And now they're only 1 point behind West Ham, 1 point behind Leicester, 2 points behind Watford. And that's where the big drop-off is. I think the top 6 teams are set. Watford is 9 points behind Manchester United for that 6th spot. Now we're going to hit the midfield. And because I have 4 midfielders, some of these guys aren't midfielders because I went with 3 up top. There's just so many good attacking performances. And sometimes it's easier to identify those attacking players because they have something tangible, right? They scored goals, they had assists, and it's hard to not give those more weight, per se, because obviously they made a difference in the game. Whereas, let's say N'Golo Kante, who I love, he doesn't do much going forward, but he might have been the most important player on the team. So it's hard to rate those guys sometimes. So when we go attacking, I pretty much just put like 6 attackers, unless a midfielder stands out. And I have some, but Pedro kind of fits in between. He's more of a winger, let's say, than a straight midfielder. But I'm going to put him in my midfield. Pedro, for me, was unbelievable. His takedown, he scored the first goal for Chelsea in their win this weekend. His run, let's stay with that because that initiates David Luiz's great ball in behind the defense. But his touch, it's scary, right? If you've got a ball coming up over the top and you're going to take it down at the penalty spot, you have to know where the goalkeeper is because you could be getting clattered, right? But he makes a great run. Now he's got to hold off the center back who's trying to get back into position to make a play. And I feel like based on the ball, he knew he was going to get the ball first. So then maybe that guy doesn't matter as much, but you still have to know his physical presence, right? So now he's holding that guy off while he's running full speed, while also taking a peek over where the goalkeeper is so that his next touch or actually will determine his first touch. Does he bring it down? Does he hit it first time? And he makes all the right decisions, brings it down perfect, and then ends up slotting it. And that alone, for me, deserved mention in my team of the week. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. The midfielder next to him, Declan Rice. He scored his first ever goal for West Ham in a big win against Arsenal. And he's probably not going to get as much love as he deserves outside of his West Ham bubble, because all the talk is about how Arsenal is struggling right now and how Unai Emery, the honeymoon is over, and where's Mesut Ozil and all that good stuff. But I don't want to take away anything from Declan Rice, because he had a good performance overall, and then obviously he scored a fantastic goal. I don't know if you saw it or not, but there was nothing that Leno could do in goal. And I'm worried about Arsenal right now. See, I can't even talk about, I want to give love to Declan Rice, and I still want to just drift over and talk about Arsenal because it's a little juicier than West Ham. Now, West Ham is in the table. They're in 9th. They're just above Everton, 1 point. So they're in that second tier of teams. Obviously, a big win for Manuel Pellegrini to get one over Arsenal. He's been under a lot of stress and pressure this season. He looks like it, right? Have you seen his face? He looks like he's tired and stressed all the time. So big win for them. Anyway, hat tip to Declan Rice for that. And then next to him, I'm going with Luka Modric. Now, I feel like a bit of a sucker on this one because Luka Modric has won everything, every single individual trophy you can win this particular calendar year. And I don't know if he did enough to warrant it any other week, because they were playing on the road against Real Betis. It was in the Real Derby. And he is a midfield general, okay? And Madrid only had 25% possession. 25%. And he's a big reason why. I mean, he's the guy that helps transition the team from defense to attack. So I put a lot of that responsibility on him. I know there's a bunch of younger players and some of their top guys aren't playing very well, but they still found a way to win. And I think that's a testament to what he brings to the table. And because he's won all these individual awards, I'm just getting sucked in. So I'm going with Luka Modric. He scored the first goal in this game. It was a banger too, by the way. And I just have a lot of respect for him as a player. I don't think he's going to get anywhere near the fanfare moving forward after this year. I think he had his moment in the sun. It was an incredible year, and I wanted to continue to respect and admire him while he has it, because he's definitely on the wrong side of 30. He'll be 34, I think, pretty soon. And these good years, glory years, are not going to happen for him anymore. So that's it. But I thought he had a good performance. He had a good goal. I just worry about that possession. That's a worrying stat, I think, if you're a Madrid fan. Yeah, you're right, Diamond Dave. I know that he said his form's... I mean, how could... Okay, so Diamond Dave makes a good point. What else was going to happen after such a tiring year? I mean, the guy didn't have any breaks the whole time. There's just no way you can maintain that level for so long. And he'd been doing it for years prior to that as well. This is just when he's getting that attention. So for him to keep that up, and then as he's winning awards, which obviously is a big honor, but you're flying here, you're flying there, there's more demands on your time off the field. Everybody wants a piece of you. Your agent obviously is trying to cash in, so you're trying to sign more sponsorship deals. You're doing more extracurricular stuff to get more money. You're trying to strike while the iron is hot, that type of stuff. Of course he's going to slow down. So I'm just glad that he had the maturity to actually say it, because there's a lot of players that won't say that type of stuff publicly. So hat tip to Modric for that. And that's another reason why I love him. I think I might have to do it. I think I might go with Julian Draxler. He had a good assist. They're obviously on the road. I know it's Ligue 1, but I don't think Ligue 1 should be a knock at times, because there are some very good teams in that country. And it just seems so easy and so casual to be like, oh, well, France sucks. But I don't know. When you're playing out of position, you put in a good performance for a guy that doesn't play as regularly as he probably thinks he should. He came over from the Bundesliga, thought he was probably going to be the guy, and then they signed Neymar. I can't even speak right now. Neymar. No, it's not Neymar, it's Neymar. And then they signed Mbappe. He just gets squeezed out. And for him to kind of keep that good attitude and keep pushing forward, I think speaks a lot about his character. So when he plays well, when he gets his opportunities, especially playing out of position, that deserves a Team of the Week consideration. So I'm going with Julian Draxler. Yeah. You don't like it? I don't care. It's my Team of the Week. Okay, and then now, up top, 3 forwards. The first one, as mentioned by Corey, is Inaki Williams. Okay, so Inaki Williams, by the way, he scored his 7th goal of the season in La Liga, all right? He scored his first goal at home at the Cyan Mommies in 3 years. How is that possible? One of your best attacking players can't score at home. That is definitely in his head. But he didn't just score one, he scored two. I think I just said that. In their big 2-0 win over Sevilla. And what makes this more telling was how they responded, because they had just played at the San Mamés 3 days earlier in the Copa del Rey against Sevilla, and Sevilla beat them 3-1. So I want to give a shout out to Inaki Williams. A great performance. I think he's a fantastic player. And if you haven't seen his goals, I wish I would have had the highlights of that. If you haven't seen his goals, he outpaces somebody at midfield. It's unbelievable. And EA should boost his stats, or at least his pace, up to 99 as soon as humanly possible. That's what I'm going to say about that. Okay, next to him, he's going to be out wide right. And then up top, we'll go with Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez is the man. 2 goals and an assist in Barcelona's 3-0 win over Eibar. He is the second leading scorer in La Liga. He's got 14 goals. Messi's got 17. Messi did score in this one as well, off an assist by Suarez. It was Messi's 400th goal in La Liga, the only player to ever score 400 goals in Spain, or in the top division, excuse me. And fantastic goal that was as well. Barcelona look very good right now. And when Suarez is happy and playing well, it seems like it creates more space for Messi, and they get more opportunities, and Coutinho look great. But Suarez is going to be the one that gets the nod in the team of the week, so congratulations to him. And then next to him is a player from France, and I don't know how to pronounce his name correctly. It's spelled from an American side of how we would say is Nicolas Pepe, but I think you say it Nicolas Pepe, and he plays for Lille, okay? And they just took on, who did they take on? I don't know exactly who we're gonna watch the highlights. So they took on Con, or as I like to call them, the Conradinos. The greatest name ever, Conradinos. And it was on the road, and Lille scored 3 goals, and he had a hand in all of them. Now, Nicolas Pepe is 23 years old. He's an Ivory Coast international, and he is so good that if he doesn't move in January, then I fully expect him to move in the summer to somewhere. We're going to watch these highlights if you guys want to check him out. This guy watches his movement, with or without the ball, his runs off the ball, the weight of his passes. Let's take a look at that right now. Go! That ended 3-0 in favor of Lille, but that rounds out my team of the week. Okay, so we had De Gea, Jardel, Fabinho, Zuma, Pedro, Declan Rice, Luka Modric, and then Julian Draxler from PSG, who I thought was very, very good. Inaki Williams from Athletic Bilbao. Luis Suarez was fantastic. And then finally, Nicolas Pepe for Lille. Do you guys agree or disagree? And how many of these players will we see in EA's Team of the Week for FIFA 19? I suspect all of them, because I am a predicting genius. And I just want to throw that out there.